Hey all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm gonna be doing kind of like a chatting video where I'm going to be talking about menstrual cups. Okay, so this is a menstrual cup. But before I start and talk about it in detail, I also wanted to say that this is just my experience using it, and it does not mean that everyone's experience is going to be the same thing. It doesn't mean that it's going to be as good as I had it or as bad as I had it. Everyone's experiences are unique, and don't worry if you have never used it and if you're scared to use it. This is kind of like a video that talks about it a little more, makes you feel a little more confident about using it, hopefully. Okay, so let's start. So basically I started using, I've only used this once, so that's basically this is like my first time using it and my first experience using it. And I think the more you use it, the better you get at it. So this is literally based on the one time I've used it and the things that I've realized, and the tips that I can give you. A few tips I've learned over this 1 month. I watched this Netflix show, and on that they were kind of talking about climate change, and that's when it kind of hit me, the amount of waste that I as an individual create using pads. And that was something that I really wanted to change. Either way, I always wanted to switch to the cup, but I was a little bit nervous about, how does it even work, because pad is something that you keep externally, whereas cup is something you keep internally. So I was a little skeptical and a little nervous to put something in, but I just wanted to try it out. And all of my friends, a lot of my friends had switched to cup, and they told me that that is like one of the best changes they've made in their lives. And I get that now. This was one of the reasons why I decided to switch to the cup. And it's actually better. It has a lot of health benefits, in the sense that it's just more clean, doesn't create any odor, and it kind of gives you a really stress-free period because you're not always aware that you're on your periods. Yeah, and it's really comfortable. So that's why I decided to switch to cup. These two were kind of like the main reasons why I did that. Okay, moving on to my experience. So first thing, I would like to give a shout out to my friends Nev, Sharon, and a few other people who actually really helped me through this, because I was very nervous. And even though I watched YouTube video on how to put it, and there are different kinds of folds when you put it in, I will link that video down below that I watched, which really helped me. But regardless of that, I wanted, like, somebody who is close to me, somebody who I know, to tell me how exactly they experience it and how they how their experience was, just so that I could feel a little more confident. So the first day was a little bit difficult because I was still figuring it out, and I was trying different folds, different ways to put it in. Like, you can either squat or you can put your leg on top of the basin, whatever is comfortable for you. Like, literally, it's your body. You have to be comfortable with how you think you can put it in. But just one thing is that make sure there is a vacuum created. Make sure the cup the cup completely like opens up, because sometimes when you fold it like that and you put it in, it doesn't open up, and if that happens, then there is a chance that you'll have leakage. But if you create a vacuum and this whole thing goes in and opens up, then there is like, you don't have to worry. And the best part is that you can leave it in for like 10 to 12 hours depending on your flow, obviously, but it's the best. So the first 2 days was kind of a struggle, because one day the vacuum wasn't created, and then I was really annoyed, and in usually itself, because there's so many hormonal changes, I get frustrated. But then I got a little bit annoyed, and I was just like, oh my god, I literally can't do this. And I kind of like, on the second day towards the end, I wore a pad, because I was just like, I can't do this, I don't think this is for me. But then when I wore a pad the next morning, I was so uncomfortable. I didn't sleep well, and I realized like I actually really liked the cup. On the first day, I really liked it. And so then I was like, I gave myself some time, I took a deep breath. I think that is really important, that you just take a minute, just sit down, relax, take a deep breath. You can do it. It might seem really hard, you might get a bit nervous. It's okay, just take all the time you need, especially now that we are all staying at home, and we don't really have to move around and go out a lot like these days. I think this is like the perfect time you can try and start using a cup, because you will be at home. So even if there are any leakages and you're still at home. So I think this is like the best time you can try this out. And yeah, so tip 1, I think, is take a deep breath, take a minute for yourself, breathe. You can do it. It's not as hard. Tip 2 would be, make sure that you create a vacuum, and otherwise everything is fine. And tip 3 is, if you're still a little nervous about it, and if it's like your first time, and if you're still you don't want to spoil your clothes or anything, then just wear a panty liner just in case. Tip 4 would be, figure out your size. So a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of websites. I use the Sirona cup, and there are many other brands like Be Safe and everything that makes cups, and they have their websites on which they specify the body type and your exercise activity and all that, and what kind of size that you should get. So there is a small, medium, large, and depending on that, get your cup size. Make sure you watch a lot of videos, figure out your size, and then buy it. And it's literally a one-time investment, because it lasts for years. So you'll be paying around 300 to 400 maximum on one cup, which you can reuse for a really long time. So initially it might seem a little expensive that you're paying $400 for just a cup, but honestly it's worth it. It's worth every penny. And even though I've only used it once, I can say that it's made a huge difference. It's made my period much easier. I've also heard, I've read on a few websites that it also reduces period cramps. The thing is, I don't get period cramps, so I really don't know on that aspect. I can't talk much about it, but I've heard that it does. So if you are somebody who has a lot of period cramps and struggles a lot with it, menstrual cup really helps with that, is what I've heard. And also the cup comes with a stem. So the thing is, if you feel like the stem is too long for you, you can cut it. So you can modify it according to your body and according to your comfort. So yeah, so overall I would say that it was a journey. Even though it was just 5 days, the first 2 days felt like 2 weeks, because I was struggling and I was finding out things and I was texting my friends and I was like, I don't know, this is not working for me, maybe it's not meant for me. But then after they helped me out through it and they texted me and consoled me and explained it to me properly, you know, the next 3 days was just a breeze, and it was just so amazing. Like, it just went by because I figured it out. And it's okay if you can't figure it out in your first period or even in your first 3 periods or 4 periods. Some people learn it fast, some people take some time. It's okay, take your time. And if you know anybody, any friend of yours who's using it, make sure to ask them questions, because you know, regardless of how much people talk over YouTube, there is a lot of filtering out and you can't be explicit. But if you text your friends, they can explain it in detail, and you can, you know, put it down in the comments if you have any questions. I'm really open to answering them, and I hope you have a happy, painless period, and I hope this has helped you understand a little more about the cup. And I hope you like this video. I hope it was informative, and if you have any questions, anything that I haven't answered in this, there must be a lot of things that I haven't answered, because everybody has their own questions, everybody's experience is unique. You know, if you have any more doubts, I can make another video which clarifies them. And if I don't know the answers to it, I will ask, you know, all my friends who use the cup. And yeah, I hope you like this video, and I'll come back with more. Bye bye.